Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Money Factor here at the Sphere. This is LaShonda Johnson, your certified financial educator and also the co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance. And
good morning. It's Monday mornings, Mondays. Yes, it's Monday, right? It's Tony Sanders with the Houston Housewives of Finance, the co-founder and your certified financial education instructor. We are back. We're continuing our series because guess what? It's still Life Insurance Awareness Month.
Absolutely. It's still here. We got about 16, 17, 18 more days somewhere in the neighborhood. And so we're going to continue with our pursuit of making you aware of how important it is that you get properly protected and get serious about it.
And this is serious business today.
This is serious today, okay? So we promised you that we were going to have a special guest with us today, and he's here. And man, I suggest you guys share this show right now because a lot of you have an idea of the way things are supposed to be in final arrangement planning. Well, of course, you know, we bring you everything you need right here on the Money Factor. So we've brought you a very special guest that's going to share with you and us and enlighten you, because we know you need to be enlightened about the process of final expense arrangements. So with great pleasure, and, you know, Tony hooked this up for us. We're so grateful.
Well, I said, look, I've been trying to get with him for a minute, so let me bring him on the show, and then I can get with him.
Let me let you do the introduction.
You know what? But you know what? He needs no introduction. Social media is very aware of who he is. And I also met him just watching him talk to someone else on social media on a podcast. And I said, you know what? Look, I need to bring him on and make sure that he's able to share the same information with all of our followers. But he needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mr. Being himself, Mr. Bobby Swearington. Can you introduce yourself?
Welcome.
Yes. Bobby Swearington. I own Fort Bend Memorial Planning Center. We are a full-service funeral home in Fort Bend County, and I'm just excited to be here with y'all today.
Oh,
we're very excited to have you. We're very excited.
So tell us a little bit about Fort Bend Memorial.
We are again a full-service funeral home. We are about now 18 months old. We're located off of Highway 6 in Rocheron, Texas, and we just strive to do our best services as far as assisting families with final arrangements. We do a plethora of things. We offer final arrangement planning, burials, cremations, memorial planning, memorial brunches and dinners, things of that sort.
Absolutely.
Memorial brunches and dinner.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, the funeral, yes, honey, the funeral business is not what it used to be.
Wow.
Definitely. You find a lot of people who don't want to go the traditional route now.
Right.
So they look to do, out of the box things. So we try to accommodate
Now,
them.
let me ask you a question. I ain't doing none of that out of the box stuff that I saw them posing people and all that, right?
Oh, wow.
I saw that.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
That's become a little more popular here recently.
Really?
Yeah. And social media kind of boosts it out there. So,
Absolutely.
They've been doing it for a while, but because of social media, people are able
Bobby,
to.
I saw them posing somebody. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I tell people we do whatever the family requests. That's not necessarily something that I want for myself, though. However, if the family comes in and requests that, our funeral directors make sure that they
Okay, so bring me up to date because I'm a little confused. What do you mean, the posing like Aretha did?
Oh no.
No, not
What
like
are we
that. I'm
talking
not
about
talking about
deposing?
wardrobe changes. I'm saying maybe you a motorcycle rider and
Correct.
you're gonna be propped up on your bike.
Oh no!
Right.
Yes.
Prop you up in the chair.
Yes.
Prop you up in the here recently. I think they had one on the other day. Someone was actually in a chair with a crown on.
Stop
and everything. I saw one in Louisiana. A young guy was killed, and they put him out with his
Gaming system?
game system, PlayStation, and everything.
Wow.
I
But there's something for everybody. That goes to show,
Wow.
whatever your last wishes are, they
Definitely.
can be fulfilled.
Definitely.
so I imagine that's very expensive to do that.
It can be. It definitely can be. It's nothing traditional about that. So you have to make sure that you have not only proper staff to accommodate doing that, because you see it's almost like a posing or a staging. So you
Yes.
have all of the
Wow.
props and everything that you have to bring in.
Get out of here,
and
you
the-
guys. Look at what we're doing. I mean, come on. Okay, so you guys, again, this is Life Insurance Awareness Month, and when Tony suggested that we have you, I was like, that's an incredible idea because, it's something that we deal with in our business.
Right.
Obviously, that's your business, but we have to deal with it too.
Absolutely.
We're helping people to prepare for the inevitable.
Right.
We don't get to be here forever. News alert: we are leaving.
You might need to say that again.
News alert.
News alert.
Don't get to be here forever.
Right.
We are leaving, and
Right.
we do need to prepare for that.
Right.
And it costs to die.
Definitely.
And I like to say we don't have to have life insurance to die, but it's still going to cost you
gonna
some
cost
kind
you.
of way. So
And it's going to cost somebody.
it's going to cost somebody. And so a lot of people tend to think that, it's no big deal. We'll be able to come up with, the burial costs. Can you share with us why that's not the greatest thinking to have?
Well, first of all,
Because the look I saw on your face just
I don't think that people really have been educated on the cost of what it is to take care of something like this.
And that's why we have you here
And,
today, because we want people to know.
It's crazy because now I see more people are saying, well, you don't have to do all that with me. Just put me in a pine box, and they kind of take that
Right.
that mindset about it. But I tell people, we spend a lot. It takes money to come into the world. For a mother to have a child, it takes money. Birthday baby showers, weddings, all of that costs money, and it's crazy how we get to death, and we just minimize it so much. But even in the minimalization of it, it still costs money.
It still costs money.
Yes.
It's costing money. When families come in and they have lost a loved one, in addition to grieving, you're trying to
Figure out how you're going to pay for something.
and coming up with $10,000 overnight
Absolutely.
in a 7 to 10 day span is not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy.
Oh my gosh. So there's an article I want to share which was going to flow right into our conversation
Okay.
this morning. And this article talks about how much does the average funeral cost. And so, I want you to jump in here and, solidify what it says here or educate us on what this process. So we're just going to kind of flow together with this,
Okay.
if that's okay with
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Okay. So Tony, you want to start us off?
Absolutely. It says, how much does the average funeral cost? Have you ever wondered how much the average funeral costs? Okay, well, we get it. The answer is probably no. But here's the thing. A funeral is usually a major expense. That's why it's a good idea to have a plan on how your loved ones will pay for yours. Of course, there's final expense insurance, but that's the only option you have. Well, how much is your insurance and how much do I need? Those are things that we talk about with you all the time here on the Money Factor. It says the average funeral cost, the basic, the funeral cost is about $7,181, which includes the viewing, the burial and embalming, the hearse, the transfer of remains, the service fee, and more. It doesn't, however, include the cost of, say, the catered luncheon, the drinks, and the memorial service, which can add up to hundreds and thousands of dollars to the cost. Let's stop right there. What do you say?
True.
True.
And even more so, I think it's even gone up since then. And so what is that citing, 2014?
So you're talking about what, 10 grand?
Yeah, definitely closer to $10,000.
That's what I tell people
Here
about
in
10
Houston, perpetual care cemeteries are starting somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000.
What's
for the plot.
perpetual care?
So, your Houston Memorial Gardens,
Oh,
Paradise South,
okay.
your larger cemeteries. and they're starting somewhere around 3,000 to 4,000.
Wow.
So that's before you even make it to the funeral home.
You ain't even got there
You
yet.
my
haven't gotten to the
gosh.
funeral home yet, so we're already
Okay,
at
can you
3,000 to
repeat?
4,000.
Okay, so you guys
Wow.
listen up. Okay, this I'm glad you said that because people think they don't have a clue what is involved, and this is before you get to the
This is
funeral
before you
home.
get to the
So
funeral home.
what is included in that?
So that's just your opening and closing of
With
the
a
plot.
casket.
Okay.
Oh, the plot.
Of the plot.
Now let me just say
That's at
Oh.
the cemetery. So your cemetery and your funeral homes, that's two different entities.
two different. Thank you. Because when my
Wow.
mom passed, we were not. I mean, we didn't. It was like the opening, the closing. I was like, you charge this amount of money
Because somebody has to dig that
Somebody
to
has to,
dig,
yes.
and so everybody gets paid in this process.
Right.
They're not digging graves for free.
I remember when I first came into the industry as a young teenager, you could do the opening and closing or a plot altogether for about $1,200 or $1,400,
And today is 3.
maybe 3,000 to 4,000.
Wow. And okay,
And y'all talking about y'all don't need no life insurance. Y'all better shut the front door.
and that does not cover their
Wow.
head.
No, that's no headstone.
No
That's
headstone.
no headstone.
No stone.
Wow.
And those can be very
Definitely.
expensive,
Wow.
depending on how fancy you want them
So
to
this
be.
this little funeral business, this is a la carte, huh?
Yeah, it has become so. It takes a lot of manpower to run this
Absolutely.
industry.
Wow.
When you're talking about people say it doesn't take that much to dig a grave or something like that. But
It's not.
They've
They don't
never
understand.
even dug a grave
Because they don't
before.
dig the
they
grave.
don't dig
Yeah.
graves.
When the last time you dug a
Okay.
grave?
The equipment, the backhoe, all of
Right.
that,
Oh
my
manpower
gosh.
to get out there.
Wow.
And the land costs money
The
too.
land.
Okay, so we have to
Wow.
go to a break real quick for our first sponsor. This is Elite Dental Wellness. So while we're here, we need to make sure our smile is on point. So at Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We're committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they're part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680. There we go.
Our grill is
Shine
right.
bright like a diamond.
Definitely.
Wow.
Okay, speaking of diamonds, it's a small fortune for you to be able to.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I tell people it costs money to do this, and you know what's crazy? We're the second oldest profession, and known to man, and so we're not going
Wow,
anywhere.
I didn't even know that.
We're a recession-proof industry.
Wow.
So no matter how the
Definitely.
market
I don't
goes-
care what
Because
happens.
guess what? You're gonna. Somebody's
gotta
having
go.
a baby and somebody's
Yeah.
dying.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
And so, we like to think that we're recession proof as well because money is flowing through everything.
All
and it
day.
has to be managed all the time.
Right.
And so we take care of people from cradle to
grave.
grave. And so we don't dig the grave,
Yeah.
but we help you pay for the digging of the
Right.
grave. Okay.
Prepared to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Definitely.
absolutely. So let's go back to the article and see what else it has to say, Tony.
It says between 2004 and 2014, the median cost of a funeral increased by 28.6% from $5,582 to $7,181. According to the National Funeral Directors, 28.6% may seem like a steep rate of increase, but between 1980 and 1989, the average funeral rose by 87%.
Dang,
Wow.
and why? What's the reason for that?
Well, I got here in '87, so so I'm
Like,
not
that's before my
exactly
time.
sure what happened, but I know that within the past, I'll just say the 15 years that I've been in the industry, the prices have just about doubled. Just about. I remember back then the average cost of a funeral was $5,000 to $7,000. Now I'm telling people $9,000 to $11,000.
Wow.
Okay, so do you think it's double becoming deaths on the rise? I mean, you
Well,
know,
everything
Just
has gone up.
inflation, just
Yeah,
inflation.
So you're looking at cars, you're looking at fuel prices, you're
Yes.
looking at just the rise of wages as time goes about.
and people have to
So-
be paid appropriately. And
Yeah.
then
Absolutely.
again,
Yeah.
so it's fair to say that 20 years from now, we need to start telling people that you need to plan for more cost.
But you
Absolutely.
know what I'm an advocate of is pre-planning and pre-arrangements.
Talk to us about
So
that.
with the pre-arrangements and the pre-planning, what it allows you to do is to lock in the prices today, and you avoid the rise of inflation.
Absolutely, like
So-
a
Just
pre-need.
As a pre-need. So
Yes.
basically, we have families come in, and though we're only 18 months old, pre-needs are transferable amongst funeral homes. So you may
Okay.
have made a pre-need 10 years ago at a local mortuary, but then you've decided, hey, someone new's here, I want them to take care of the arrangements.
Okay.
So you can just go and transfer them amongst mortuaries. But
Do
what
you guys
happens
have
is-
like a like a pact in in
Oh
the
no,
industry?
nothing like that.
So how does that
Nothing
work?
like
I mean,
that.
would they
So it's-
they would be losing business.
Well, with pre-needs, there it's almost like an insurance policy. So you can take your
you're free
insurance
to go
policy,
wherever you
can
want.
Go wherever you want to go.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I see.
And just like anything else, look, I want the latest and greatest, so I
Right,
want to
right.
take that. They
And
don't
that's
do
a
things.
good thing about that. So it locks in your price, but it doesn't necessarily obligate you to that mortuary.
Okay, well, I just have a question because it's just killing me. How many? What would you say the percentage of people who come in who don't have coverage?
Coverage or enough coverage, about half.
Wow. So
About
about
half of
50% of
Half,
people.
50%.
Either no insurance or
Not enough.
underinsured.
Right. Because see, back in the day, they were able to get a reliable policy for $10,000.
Yes.
Hey, right.
And they thought they were
Yes.
doing something.
Right.
But now people, they weren't really educated on why you were getting that policy. They were saying,
Please,
this
can
is
you
enough
say
to
that again,
bury.
please? Can you
Right.
say that again?
They were not educated on why we were getting the
So
policy.
Hello.
as you see, this is why we wear this button. We're on a financial literacy campaign to educate 1 million families by the year of 2020. And we come to you every single Monday. We do this 365 days a year, trying to teach the community, trying to teach you why you need to get into our workshops. Man, this is good stuff.
It is.
And now you don't just hear it from me and LaShonda, you hear straight from Bobby himself saying, look, you guys need to be protected and properly protected.
Correct.
Not
Properly
enough, not having
protected.
enough, and we know that. I mean, the statistics are staggering. We're talking about 55 million, upwards into 58 million Americans do not have enough protection.
Right.
And so, so kind of walk us through the process. If you don't have enough, what happens then?
Well, I'll say it like this. At Fort Bend, we try to accommodate all budgets. We recognize that everyone should receive a respectable burial. Let me
Okay.
say that. But that means you can't be too picky or choosy when you come in.
So wait a minute, you mean to tell me
Exactly.
they don't have no money and they coming in still trying to I want this, and that?
Wow, man. When I tell you our funeral
Y'all know
directors
y'all
can
need
tell
to
you,
be shaming yourself for that.
Yes.
Beggars cannot be choosy,
They
but
come in and they want limousines.
Get
and
out.
They want extravagant programs. And
speaking
Wow.
about getting out, we got to get off Facebook Live, you guys. It only lasts 15 minutes. So you have to go subscribe. If I were you, I would be going to do this right now, this moment, this second, because you want to watch the rest of the show in its entirety. We're not ending the show, but Facebook Live is ending. So go right now, this moment, this second, to the Spear and subscribe. We need you while you're there to just jump over to iTunes and write a review. Let us know what you think, how you feel, what you want to see. We accept constructive criticism, and we also accept all of the accolades you want to give us as well. We don't know who you know, so we need you to share the show. This is a powerful one, and people need to be educated about this process. So please share the show. While you're there, of course, we provide this show to you completely complimentary. So we'd like for you to donate if you would. You can become a regular donation patron, which we would like. But if you just want to donate one time, the option is there and available for you as well. Either way, we like it, we love it. Go do that right now, this second, this moment, and you'll be able to watch the show in its entirety. So let's continue.
Yes.
So people who are not prepared have the nerve to expect you guys to bear the burden of the cost of their desires.
You know, because they have that champagne taste on the beer budget.
And
but
and
you don't even have a beer budget.
Wow.
You don't have a budget.
Our directors are definitely compassionate people, and we are sympathetic to,
right.
Okay,
plight
so
that
I
they're
understand
dealing
that,
with,
Bobby,
but-
but you guys are in business.
We are, and we
So
try.
how can you afford?
I just tried to, tell our directors to make sure that they offer what the people can pay for. Okay, so one thing I tell our staff when they're meeting with families is that only give them one, never come in and let the funeral home know how much your policy is.
You better say that. Say it
So
again.
don't walk in and
Okay.
say, "Oh, I have a $50,000 policy. What can I do?"
Tell them why, because I tell them that. I tell them.
I really appreciate you saying that. Because you don't have to say that. It would be to your advantage for people to do that. But
because one thing that I've learned in this industry are people are, even though they're not as educated on why they should have what they should have, they do know how to talk about their experience once they leave the funeral home.
Absolutely.
right.
So if
right.
they're bumping into you and they say, "Oh, well, I just left this funeral home and I spent $31,000.
What did you get?
What did you buy?" And so people, word of mouth travel. So I tell people, never come in with the funeral director and let them know how much money you have. Come in and build your package or build your service, and then say, "Okay, well, this is what I can do, or this is what we can do. This is what I want to add, or this is what I want to take away."
Right.
And these are processes that need to take. Most people, they're doing this at the death of a loved one.
Yeah.
Right, and so you're
And
getting
it's
them when they're
hard.
at a very
my
vulnerable
goodness.
time, and I tell people that all the time. You don't ever want to release that check. They're gonna take it all.
And you know what's funny is I hear so many horror stories. That's why we try to be so transparent at Fort Bend, because we realize that word of mouth travels. So what I tell people is you build your policy or you build your service, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Another thing is if they don't have the finances, they have to be open to other alternatives.
Absolutely.
Like what?
We have direct cremations. We have cremations with a memorial service.
Right.
We have cremations with a viewing, which is a full funeral service. But at the end, then and so at the end, what happens is you cut off that $3,000 or $4,000 that you would have spent going to the cemetery. I'll tell
And
you
it's
this.
sad that some people have to take that option because they don't have the money to do what they really.
You want to take these options because that's what you want to do, not
because
that's
you're
what you have
forced to do.
Right.
And let me say this
Wow.
as well. You want to make sure that you have that discussion with your family, because some people want to be cremated.
Right. My mother
Yes.
says she wants to be
My
cremated.
mother did too. My mother
I
says
ain't
she
gonna
wants.
cremate her. But
She gonna come back in.
she says she wants to be cremated.
Yes,
and
I
I'll
mean,
tell
you
you
know.
this, the hard thing, after being in this industry so long, my grandmother passed away in February.
Okay. So.
And we didn't do pre-arrangements. I guess everybody kind of thought, well, Bobby owns a funeral home, so he'll take care of it.
Right.
Whew. That week happened to be our busiest week at the mortuary that we had ever had.
Wow.
And my grandmother passed away, and it was very hard on me to arrange my grandmother's funeral
Absolutely.
service. And it's crazy. I tell people to prearrange, prepay, but then I'm sitting on the other side of the desk now, having done none of that for my own grandmother. And so it was definitely a tedious task. I could have only imagined how it would have gone if I were not in the industry.
Right.
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 Putting together this elaborate service.
Right. I mean, you're hearing that straight from him. How
Right.
difficult he, if he was in the industry.
Right.
And it was difficult for him.
Right.
So this is not a process we need to take lightly.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
But it's good stuff.
Yeah.
And people don't want to have the conversation, but these are the conversations that definitely need to be had throughout our families.
Right.
And these are the ones that we say we love so much.
Right.
Let's just sit down and have that conversation.
Yeah.
And I think it would save us all a lot of money and time and heartache later
Time
on.
and heartache.
And I know you have to get to the next sponsor, but right after that, we are going to talk about cremation versus
Okay.
burial. That's next up in the article.
Absolutely. So this portion of the show is being sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting a business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have the need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content and delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. All right, love
Boom.
The Sphere. Mhm.
Okay.
Well, that's what they're going to get, a boom, if they don't take care of their
Oh,
responsibilities, because my
gosh, you
goodness.
guys.
Very hard.
Wow.
And you don't. I see now, and this is nothing against it, but I see now families are, in the event that they don't have the money, they're doing GoFundMes.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Okay.
You need to stick a pin right
Please.
there.
Please.
Yeah, the
Share about
GoFundMe.
that.
The GoFundMe, and this is, I understand that there are some situations where, it just is needed that you all have to do this, but that should not be your primary source.
Right.
Can we get the clapping of the
Yeah,
hands
that
on
needs
Can we do
that
that?
needs
Okay,
some,
I'll do that. We got some clapping.
That should not be.
It shouldn't be, because it almost puts the responsibility off on the public to bury your
And
loved
that's not
one.
their responsibility.
It's not their responsibility.
So let me say this, because I get on you guys all the time. You're on Facebook all the time. You've been here. You did this. You bought this. You bought that.
But can't
But you
take care
don't
of-
have
oh.
any life insurance to take care of the responsibilities for your family. It is not the public's responsibility to take care of your needs, your responsibilities for the ones that you say that you love. GoFundMe is not life insurance. When are we going to get sick and tired of having fish fries, car washes, bake sales? Come on, we have to do better.
We
I
must
tell
do
people
better.
that.
And I mean, what's sad for me is that you've said here the average cost is maybe $10,000-$11,000 on
Right.
the average. Okay, you're gonna tell me that you can live in some cases 70 years, 60 years,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. Really, there's no excuse for living no years. You can get life insurance protection for an infant as soon as they're issued a Social Security number.
15 days old.
As soon as you are breathing life, you should have protection for what could happen, because it's going to happen. We just don't know when.
Right.
So it's sad when you see people live 60, 70, 80 years and nobody has 10 grand.
And stop saying you don't want to put insurance on your babies.
Oh
There's
my
no
gosh.
guarantee that our babies are going to outlive us. Oh, it's
No.
it's bad. They say, oh, it's bad luck.
I actually, I was in the funeral industry 14 years before I opened up. So at my former funeral home, I had kind of a concentrated demographic that people who I dealt with. As soon as I opened up my own funeral home, my first maybe 4 or 5 cases were babies.
Wow.
And it was just very sad. One, they didn't have insurance a lot of times because they didn't feel like it was necessary.
It's not necessary.
And that's a lie.
Yeah, it is, because some of the situations, a couple of the babies, it was just all of a sudden something just
Life
happened.
happens.
All of a sudden, 9 and 10 months old, 3 and 4
Sudden,
year old.
what's the
And-
sudden death
SIDS.
syndrome?
Yeah, and the family, one, this is very devastating to them.
Absolutely.
So it's pretty much like it's knocked the wind out of them. But on top of that, I'll tell you this, grave spaces for babies are not that much cheaper than grave spaces for adults.
They still got to do the same thing.
You still have the same process.
Wow.
The caskets are not as, they're less expensive, but they are still, a nice price for baby caskets.
Oh my God.
It's almost a full service, and a lot of times baby services are very huge. You have a lot of people who come out to support the parents.
families.
Yes.
And looking at it from my cost, from my side as an owner, I have to pay people to be out there to work these services, all these floral arrangements. So I tell people it's still a big cost to bury a child as well.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh my
So
gosh.
protect your children.
Please,
Yeah, definitely.
you guys, come on now. And that's really not expensive. It's
And-
really not an excuse.
And unless you said, LaShonda, if you're protecting your children now, imagine when they get to your age, they're still paying the cost of an infant.
I like that you said that the pre-needs allows you to lock in.
Right, correct.
Well, if you protect yourself properly with permanent protection, it
You're locked
also is
in.
allowing you to lock in at your age. I mean, I had one client that said something to me that I thought was really great. She said, buying life insurance for me, a permanent plan, is like taking a snapshot of where I am right now today, and I
Right.
never leave that spot.
Absolutely.
And it is, because
That's a good
she's-
analogy.
Really?
She's really taking a snapshot of her current age, and she's not aging herself through the life insurance process.
Well, one thing that I'm finding out is not only do people not have insurance, but they don't have enough insurance.
They're underinsured.
So you're coming in with a $10,000 policy, which one should not even be geared towards your funeral arrangements anyway. That should be, your life insurance should go to your family. That's to supplement, income.
you
of
repeat
you
that?
Oh
living.
my gosh, please, and louder.
Your life insurance. Your life insurance is really for your family. You're a 30-year-old male, you're married, you have 2 kids, and you've passed away, and you have a $10,000 policy.
Come on
That's
now.
not even enough to bury you, less not known to supplement the income of you leaving. So you were making $60,000-$70,000 a year.
Can we
better
get a
speak.
clap and a
Now
boom
that-
and
That
all
boom, a
kinds
clap,
of stuff?
That is
everything.
All
going down
kinds
to
of
zero
things.
now.
Absolutely.
So now what does your family do at this point? So yeah, they were able to bury you. They had a $20,000 policy. But what about your
How they
children?
gonna live?
So, that
We
goes
keep
back to that,
saying that.
that financial foundation. How much do you need? Well, a simple rule of thumb is 10 times your salary.
Yes.
You guys, why aren't you listening? Why aren't you taking heed to these things? Because you're going to need them. And I don't want this to affect you when you're at the most vulnerable time in your life and you're burying your kids,
Right.
And
your family, your
Your
husband,
husband,
your
your
wives, your
wife.
Yeah.
parents. No.
And you're
I've
out
had
of it.
people say to me, I don't need it. And I said, easy for you to say because you're not
You're
the
not
person
gonna
that
be
has
here.
to bury you.
Well, you know what? And I go a step further because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm insured on my job."
You better talk.
Oh,
Say that all the
that
time.
thing
Please,
there.
the floor
we've
is
had
yours.
situations, or stories rather that I've heard of, people leaving their job and that you are being fired or laid off from their
And they don't
job
have any.
because they've had terminal illnesses, and then 3 and 4 months later they pass away. No insurance.
Yep. Unless you plan on dying on that job,
Yeah.
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen,
I say that
Yeah.
all the time.
you need your own
You need
private
your own
insurance.
protection
Own-
that's going to
own
follow
insurance.
you
Definitely.
wherever you go.
Wow.
Definitely. It's
And
imperative
I
that you
love
do
it that you said this is not supposed to be about, because in our community, as
Mhm.
our
Yeah.
community,
Yeah.
that's what we say. I just need enough to be buried. He just said that it's not about you being buried. Yes, of course you need to be,
Right.
but what about your family
Yes.
Family.
that you're leaving behind?
Yeah.
Wife, like I tell husbands all the time. I said, "No, you leave your wife broke.
You're going to go get a man,
They're
baby.
gonna have to go get a man
to take care.
You don't want
to
but
take
for
care of
the
her and them
security,
kids. Absolutely.
and you don't want to have to put them in that type of situation.
Position.
Or,
Oh my
because
gosh, no.
now
Look,
there's
Bobby,
no,
I do the same thing. You know what? We're both certified financial educators, and we tell people, look, we're going to hit you where it hurts because you guys know that you're supposed to be taking
Right.
care of your
Your
family.
families.
Right.
I
Definitely.
just told a gentleman the other day, look, you have 3 kids, 1 on the way, and you have no proper protection. If something happens to you, you're going to leave your family what?
Destitute.
Financially devastated.
But you know what I tell people? That is irresponsible.
Ooh.
It is
very
irresponsible. It's irresponsible, and people are doing it because they want to live a certain lifestyle that they can't even afford
Right.
to live.
Right.
And we can afford to take care of our responsibilities.
Yeah,
Right.
because how
We
many
can
people we
afford
have
it.
that cancel their policy saying that they can't afford it.
Oh my
$30,
gosh.
$40 a month. You can't afford it.
It's-
Well, you know
it's
what?
sad.
One thing I can think. I say about my mother, she calls it. She says she tells everybody I'm insurance poor. She has
'Cause,
policies
baby,
on
what?
everybody.
That's right.
Everybody has a
And
policy.
hey, that's the way it's
Everybody.
supposed to
That's
be.
the way it's
So
supposed
if
to be.
anything were to happen, but what's crazy is that we're talking about $20 and $30 a month, $40 and $50
You
a
guys,
month. But
listen.
then we'll go to the Galleria, we'll go to Gucci, we'll spend $600-$700.
You know what's happening.
Right.
You know
and
what's
then
happening.
something were to happen to you, and then you perpetrated this lavish lifestyle.
Wake
Absolutely.
up. Wake
And
up.
then
That's
on
what
Facebook,
That's
there's
what
a
no. That's
GoFundMe.
not Facebook. That's fake book.
Fake book on
Fake
fake
book.
book. Then we
Wake
have
up.
to put up a GoFundMe. And they're like,
Right.
hold on, weren't they just driving a Benz or doing this or doing that? But
Right.
now we're having a GoFundMe and selling fish dinners.
Exactly.
So
I know Mr. I don't know if y'all familiar with him,
Tristan.
Tristan, mhm.
Tristan will tell you no
Yeah,
no
no-
more fish
no- no
plates,
fish
no fish
plates.
plates.
Yeah.
No fish
That's
plates.
real though, because you see people who you think are prepared, who would be, you look at them like, oh, they have insurance. I've sat in that chair. I'll tell you this: a family has come in that I know, and I'm saying, oh, they got it.
Surely.
Oh, yeah,
Surely.
And they sit down with their Gucci bags or their Mercedes Benzes, and they sit down in front of my funeral directors and they say, do y'all do payment arrangements?
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
So,
We have to do better.
We
You know what I always say? Black people, wake the hell up.
yeah.
it's not good enough.
And we have to
This
be
is-
very
it's not
candid
good
and frank
enough.
about
Wow.
this because
You
Yes.
have
it's-
to be very
yeah.
candid
We
and
have
frank
to
about
be.
it
Yeah.
because
You have to be in your face because it's too
We-
real.
it's
too
too
real.
real,
And once
and
you've
we know
seen it
better.
happen so much, you kind of get irritated after a
Right.
certain
Yes.
point. Now, I got 5,000 friends on my Facebook page, and I don't want none of those 5,000 people on there can say that they were not,
you
they
didn't know. You can't say you didn't know.
You can't say
Look,
You
I
that.
definitely cannot say
Yeah.
you didn't know.
Because I told you.
Right,
told you.
absolutely.
We put it in your face.
But and you know what? We always talk about, LaShonda, how people have proper protection on their cars. You
Right.
never underinsure your car.
Right.
You want to
Your home,
underinsure your home.
your electronics,
You even
your
have
cell
your
phone.
cell phone, but you don't even have the proper protection on the ones you love.
Because I think that people equate death with
I'm
either
outta
being
here.
sick
I hear that
or
too much.
they don't see that death, like life is a vapor and it could be gone like that. So they're thinking, oh, I have to be sick to die, or something big has happened. You can be in here and out of here.
Right.
I've buried maybe 14 or 15 classmates.
Wow.
Like it's serious. It is so serious. Like it's so serious, and I sit across from people and they say, well, this is just your business. You're just talking about because this is your business. No, I'm sitting across from my people who are not prepared for this, who are not, who do not have the finances. A lot of times when when someone is, you've lost a loved one, you're not even in the right mind to make these decisions.
No, not at all.
And you're and luckily, people come in and they say, Mr. Bobby, we trust y'all. We trust y'all, whatever you want us to do. And if we were not people of character or people of integrity, then we could take advantage of people at their lowest point.
Right.
And that's sad, but we're offering you avenues to take back control of these situations. We're offering you pre-needs.
Right.
We're offering you insurance. We're offering you wills and living trust.
Hello.
So you know what I always say. You know what you like what I say, right? Hey, wills and not bills.
Wills
baby.
and not bills.
Yes. Wills and not bills.
Wills and not bills. And I always say, where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way.
So
I tell you that. I actually did a will here recently on one of my classmates. Very successful. His mother has talked to him numerous amounts of times. She's saying, hey, you're young and successful. You're traveling all over the country. Anything can happen to you.
Absolutely.
You need to sit down and write this thing on paper.
Absolutely.
And that's what he did. And I was telling him, be thankful for your mother who is thinking ahead.
Who's telling you.
She
Be
has a
thankful
will,
for the
he
Money
has a
Factor
will.
and the Houston Housewives of Finance who are consistently telling you these things. We're coming to you every Monday
this
this message.
This is needed.
This is our 116th episode.
Really? Right. Really?
Yes.
Y'all, I'm looking for y'all to be on TV.
We're on the
podcast, but on TV, because this here is something. If people, and one more thing I want to add in as we're talking about insurance. Not only does insurance take care of your family and things like that, but it also, you can establish generational wealth with that.
Hey, what does the Bible say? To leave a legacy. Generational wealth for your children's children.
You establish generational wealth.
Yes.
I'm
It's
talking
the
about,
easiest way.
I've had classmates who their mothers and fathers have passed, and they've left them $500,000, and they were able to go and start businesses.
Absolutely.
And start things. And now they're getting older now, and their children will be older, and they'll be able to work in the business.
And you can just, there's
It
nothing that you could pay
Continues
a
on.
little bit in and get a whole lot out.
Right.
And just think, those families did not have the cash to be able to leave that kind of money for them.
But the policy did.
But the policy did. So you guys have got to be aware of the benefits of proper protection and making sure you leave your family in a position of strength and leaving the next generation in a position to carry on and carry on a legacy.
Absolutely.
It just makes sense.
Makes so much sense.
It does.
Well, this portion of the show is being sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowered movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com. And use the coupon code DOPE, DOPE, exclamation point, for a 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. Sizes are selling out fast.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I see
Love
what
me
you're
some
saying.
KG. I know what you're saying. But absolutely, life insurance is definitely the gift that keeps on giving when that loved one has gone on. And I like that we have our financial literacy campaign. We have to talk about that. We have to talk about our workshops and how you become a part of it. You need a strategy. You need to know how much insurance you have. You need an insurance review. Get in contact with us.
Absolutely.
We're on all your social media platforms, including Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Meetup. We're on Facebook, of course, as the Houston Housewives of Finance official. If it doesn't say official, it's not us. Hey, you can contact your girl Tony S at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
And I'm LaShonda J at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com. Please reach out to us. You can text us. You can text 31996. In the text field, type in ASK, HHOF, all one word. And you can also call us 1-844-700-4463. If that's not good enough, visit our website. You can go right there and schedule an appointment. Our appointments are complimentary, free. That means free. Complimentary means free. So reach out, schedule an appointment, get in contact with us, you guys. There's so many ways you can reach us. You have to be able to sit down and review what you have. You need to know what you have or what you do not have. The time to figure out what you don't have is not when the time you need to see my friend here, Bobby. Okay? You need to go with him completely confident of your ability to be able to take care of your business.
Absolutely.
All right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, Bobby, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Bobby Fort Ben. Unfortunately, I have reached my limit on the page, but I'm going to be doing some spring cleaning here. Also,
You're on Instagram, though.
I'm on Instagram at Bobby Fort Ben. Also, you can find Fort Ben Memorial Planning Center on Facebook, Fort Ben Memorial PC on FortBenMemorialPC.com. I'm sorry. That is our website.
And
we're
we're
also
showing that.
on Instagram as well, Fort Ben Memorial PC.
Absolutely.
Your trusted funeral service provider.
Absolutely.
Yes. Look at that face. Can you not? I mean, you just have to be able to trust him.
Yeah, definitely. You can trust this face.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So let's go to this article real quick because it does talk about cremation and versus burial.
Okay.
And so we can jump in here. It says, so which is cheaper, burial or cremation? The short answer, cremation, according to the NFDA. We don't know who that is, but you'll tell us. The median cost of funeral with cremation is about $6,078. That's $1,103, 15.3% cheaper than the median cost of a funeral with a burial. And some sources put the average cost of a cremation even lower at $2,000 to $4,000. So tell us if that's true.
Well, I'll tell you this. Here,
First of all, is that the National Funeral Directors Association?
Yeah. Okay. So got it together. Real quick. I see now that I think they were saying 6,000. That was a cremation service. That'll be about the cremation service with a viewing.
With a viewing.
Yeah, you're running about 6,000. I tell people now what you're eliminating is that cost of the cemetery. So you're spending $3,000 to $4,000 just at the cemetery on the plot.
Okay.
But in addition to that, you're going to spend maybe $400 to $800 on police escorts getting you to that cemetery.
Yeah.
So you're almost at $4,000 to $5,000 right there.
Wow.
For the actual
For the plot and getting to the cemetery.
Getting there.
The transport, the escorts
The escort.
getting you there.
Yes,
So
that's
if
not
you
free,
just-
y'all. I mean,
it's not.
them cops is not like moving
Oh no,
around.
it's not
No.
a community service.
No, absolutely
Hey,
not.
or
They
a
actually-
nonprofit.
No, they're not. They need to be paid. And so I tell people, basically, with the funeral, you're just with the cremation, you're just chopping off the
The
burial.
back end part.
Yeah, you're just chopping that off.
Wow.
So that means that you'll still spend between $4,000 and $6,000 on a cremation service, meaning like the actual body is present, but then at the end. It's just
Yeah, because I hear this. Some people say, "Well, just burn me. It's not gonna cost that much."
No.
And I'm
it
like,
still costs.
it's a process. That's a body. I mean,
Right.
come on, you guys, stop saying stupid
I
stuff.
think that what kind of upsets me a little bit sometimes is we have diminished death.
Disrespect.
It's like, this
Oh
is,
my gosh.
you've lived all of this life to almost want people to just like forget you.
Right.
And so when my grandmother passed away, I wanted to make sure that she was put away in the way that she lived her life.
Absolutely.
People were laughing because I know y'all saw the Aretha Franklin service.
Absolutely.
Now
that's
I
how-
did my
that-
grandmother's services similar to that.
That's how a
We
queen's
changed her
supposed to go
clothes.
out.
Yeah, we changed her clothes. I tell people my grandmother didn't, go out one day in the suit, then you see the next day she's in the same suit. She had on a different suit.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we changed her clothes, but that costs money and things
Absolutely.
like that. So I don't ever want people. I want them to get away from diminishing their life to a cardboard box
Just
or
right.
type
just burn me
situation.
type
I mean,
situation. And
when
funerals
people
are
say
not
things
for
like
the.
that-
They're not for the dead person though. Funerals are for the family.
Yes.
They're for
Exactly,
us.
so you can be able to,
Yeah.
just like when my mom was in hospice, and the hospice people said, hospice is not for the patient, it's for the family, it's to prepare the family.
Prepare the family.
And so, we need to get things in perspective and stop disrespecting this very important process
Yes,
and the
yes.
funding of
Absolutely.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I find that other communities have a greater respect.
Oh,
for that.
yes. Absolutely.
When I look at my Hispanic families, I mean, they take this very
Oh, yeah.
seriously. I mean, they're a unit on this. Like, no matter what's been going on in the family,
They
they're all
come
gonna
together. They come together.
and they're going to do. When I just think of my Nigerian brothers and sisters and everything like that, they come in, they spend the money. They're very serious. This is a sacred part.
It's a sacred part.
Very-
Absolutely.
and they don't. But then I find in the Western culture is where we tend to diminish this, and they're like, oh, we don't need all this, or don't throw all that money in the ground. Give it to the family. But I'm like, that's $10,000 or $15,000. $10,000 or $15,000 ain't gonna make
it's
it.
not
It's
gonna
not
make
gonna
or break the
difference.
family.
It's not gonna make a difference.
That's why
Because
you're
in
supposed
most
to have
cases, they've already
$500,000.
broken.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's why.
And so you might as well take care of the
Right,
burial properly.
Right. You ought to go
my
out
gosh.
in a respectable fashion.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
This has been an incredible show.
I'm loving it.
Yes.
I'm absolutely
I
loving
thank
it.
y'all for having me.
We got to have you
Yes.
back.
Oh, definitely,
We gotta
definitely,
have you back
definitely.
because this is something that, again, this goes on. This is just not just for Life Insurance Awareness Month. People die every single day, and you want to
Correct.
make sure that the ones that you love are definitely protected and properly. So the life that you live, I want to go out the same way.
Exactly.
Why would I go out
Right.
any
Yeah.
different?
I know.
Right. You drive
I
a Benz in
know.
life, but
Hello?
then y'all tell them to put you in a box and say, no, put me in the Benz.
No.
No, not
You guys,
quite a
we've
bit.
got to get serious,
Yes.
okay?
Correct.
You've got to come out to our workshops. We've got to end on that note. There's 3 locations on Tuesdays, Tony.
At Tuesdays, we're at Northwest Financial Center at 13831 Northwest Freeway, Suite 215. That's Houston, Texas 77040. Again, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 10 a.m. This Wednesday, we're going to have Transamerica Premier Life Insurance Companies, Sal Impavino. He's going to come out, share some great information on Wealthy and Healthy. That's going to be at 11:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock. I hope to see you there.
We need to get y'all
Absolutely.
to our side of town.
Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Y'all need to come out to Pearland,
I'm
Fort Bend
neighbors with
County.
you.
Hey,
So hold
we
on,
actually-
hold on.
We
We
got you
got
on that.
you.
Oh, okay.
Now, Wednesdays, West Houston. That's 11111. That's 5 ones, Suite 100. And that's Houston, Texas 77079. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Saturdays at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Okay. And we have free lunch and learns every second and fourth Friday. We just had one this past Friday. The next one is coming up at the end of the month. So make sure you come out. Now, Pearland, we have Shadow Creek
Oh,
Financial Center.
oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely. You want to read that?
That's
Bobby?
going to be financial literacy workshops, 11233 Shadow Creek Parkway,
Yes.
Suite 255, and that's in Pearland, Texas 77584, and that's going to be Mondays at 7 p.m. and Thursdays at 7 p.m. as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
See, we got you covered in Pearland.
Okay.
And
we
if
can
either
share
one of
that.
those 3 don't work, just give us a call at 1-844-700-4463. There's other locations in Houston. There's locations throughout the U.S., and we're also in Canada.
Wow. Oh,
And
y'all
people
big
die
time.
everywhere.
Oh, everywhere. I
And people
tell you
live
that.
everywhere.
You
Yeah.
are
And
about
money
that.
floats everywhere.
Everywhere.
You are correct about that.
Absolutely.
So again, we gotta go now, but it's been another incredible show. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
y'all
so
for
much
having
for
me.
coming
Coming
in.
on.
Having me.
Great
I'm so
job.
happy.
Okay,
Yes.
you guys check out Bobby at Fort Bend Memorial PC, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. What's your number one more time before we get out of here?
281-710-4893 24/7. You can call that number again, 281-710-4893.
Your trusted
Your trusted
funeral service provider.
I love
Okay.
it. I love
Thank
it.
you so much. We'll see you guys next time, next week, same time, same place. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right.